Yo, 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 what is poppin'? What I do? Welcome back to the Banter podcast.
Back again like we never left.
Yeah.
Thoughtful Banter podcast.
Yeah.
I'm saying with my co-host, Mahdi Films.
Oh, God, I'm way too excited. I'm like out here cheesing. So happy to be back on the mic with the headphones on, spinning my bars as per usual.
It's crazy. When I get in front of this mic, I feel like an important person. So
yeah, that's why I'm addicted to the power. I have the headphones on. I have the microphone in front of me. I'm like,
I know we only got like 77 subscribers.
My opinions matter.
Exactly.
I'm an intellectual.
Exactly.
I'm a clout maker.
We took a little break. Now we're back. The break was probably a little
like
too
we never
long.
left.
Like we never left. The break was probably a little too long, but we're here now, and it's like a new beginning. You know, school is starting. Give you guys something to listen to, something to take your mind off of the stress, maybe as you're commuting to school or taking your classes.
If you're stressed, you're beta.
Anyways,
that's what saying really thinks.
Anyways,
yeah.
I guess I just wanted to say, like, real quick before we jump into anything, and we've mentioned this before, but thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you guys for listening to us yammer and ramble on every week for an hour plus.
Yeah, it's been truly an experience, and I just want to first of all want to say a couple of updates for the podcast, because there are some changes moving forward. Just pulling it up right here so I don't get any information wrong. But first of all, just recapping, we finished season 1 with 14 episodes, 1,500 views just off of YouTube, 87 listeners in total, 1 guest and 5 patrons, which has been like incredible. Just a podcast, 2 dudes starting up, a couple microphones, no studio needed. Like if you, we've had a couple people come up to us say, "Hey, we want to start a podcast." I'm like, I just told them, just record yourself. Like,
yeah,
just start.
Do it.
Just
do it.
Patrons have been so supportive. We're making way too much money for just 5 people on Patreon. We've had people give more money than we showed even in our tier. So we thank you for the generosity. And we encourage you to check out the Patreon if you haven't, down below. Now, we want to say these episodes, instead of coming out weekly, we're going to have these episodes come out bi-weekly. However, we're going to introduce one new kind of content, which is the Thoughtful Vibes or Thoughtful Banter Vibes. We're having a food review coming out. You should see the trailer for that this week. So yeah, every month now you're going to get 2 podcast episodes, 1 Thoughtful Banter Vibe. And for anyone out here who has us on Patreon, we change our tiers because people have not actually been enjoying our tiers. I've noticed like we have 0 interaction on Patreon. So that shows us people don't really, it doesn't make sense for us to put in the same kind of work there if people just want to support us there because they want to support us, but not because they want the behind the scenes or extra episodes. So what our Patreon is now is, I think for $5 a month, you have your name at the end of every episode. And the next year after that, you have access to behind the scenes of our Thoughtful Vibe series, which is, again, only 1 episode a month. You can take the mic now.
So these are the changes for the podcast moving forward. Inshallah, you guys still enjoy listening to us and, you know, letting us fill up your day with our inane chatter. So if that's
thoughtful
all we
chatter.
got, thoughtful chatter, something like that. If that's all we got, I guess we can jump straight into the topics. So the first thing we wanted to talk about, I guess, is a little YouTube drama. We'll keep it light, and then we'll get serious, and then we'll make it light again.
So did you follow up with it?
I did. I did some. Sorry, I moved the mic away from my mouth. But anyways, I did some research on the drama.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how much we could even talk about it.
I'm gonna talk about like we have an adult audience.
That's true. I mean,
it's like 18 to 37 is the range of the people. So, okay. Long story short.
So hold on. Let me introduce this a little bit.
I don't have COVID.
Let me give you guys some context. So a while ago, I think it was one of our first videos. We made a video about red pill, the red pill community, and the things, maybe the positive and negatives that can be taken from it. I am not a big fan of it. Mahdi gained some insight from it, even with the questionable behavior that goes along in the, what do they call it, the menosphere.
I have Abba's perspective on it, kind of.
Yeah, I understand why it formed, but anyway, I don't want to get into that. But yeah, we made a video about that menosphere, the red pill part of YouTube. Yeah. So the people that we're talking about in this conflict, this YouTube drama, in case you guys are interested, is part of the red pill kind of manosphere part of YouTube. And we're not just talking about it because, well, we are talking about it because it's drama. But there's also like some interesting things to glean out of it that I think are
Some
going to be
insights.
some pretty
About life, 48 Laws of Power type beat. So
So yeah, I'll hand it back to you.
the basically, long story short, because I don't think I want to explain the story in a sense that you don't have to exactly know what's happening. If you want to check out the full story yourself, just search up Abba and Preach and Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit are a YouTube duo. Abba and Preach are a YouTube duo. Fresh and Fit are some newer guys, and they got big because basically what they would do is they have a podcast and they make these red pill videos, but they bring on like girls who are like IG models, girls with OnlyFans, girls who are porn stars, and like these girls who are like these girls who have these large followings on social media that quote unquote are high value women, which I would not define as high value woman. I define as low value, absolutely. But they had these, yeah.
Hold on. So they'd bring them onto their show,
yeah,
and basically throw out these controversial like red pill opinions, and then disrespect them and like throw them out if they talk back to them.
So basically they're like, hey, come on the show, and these girls are like I already said what they do, and then they're like they'll say some stuff like I don't want to say anything like too salacious, like not what they say, but they'll say something like women are lesser than men.
or they'll have like other male guests on that say something like that, even if it's not them necessarily.
They'll basically start debates with these young women and not be respectful, not be good hosts. And I'm not trying to sound like a white knight right here. I know some guys like white knight. Yo, shut up. I'm not a white knight. What I'm saying is these dudes will start debates, but have no etiquette themselves when it comes to how to debate, and also like talking in a red pill manosphere kind of way, using like their language. They're acting beta, like they get so emotionally riled up if a female even disagrees with their point or talks. Like I notice these guys, for example, if they're having like a back and forth, the guy will say something, the girl responds, hey, stop interrupting me. Hey, stop interrupting me right now.
It's like, do you know how a conversation works?
Yeah, do you know exactly? Do you know how a conversation works? You're talking to someone, they're talking to you back, right? And it's just weird to invite people to your show just to slam them. And that's clearly what was going on. But the controversy really wasn't exactly about that. Long story short, Abba and Preach, on the other hand, are these two dudes who they cover the same kind of topics. They cover like whatever's happening in the culture and society and dating, and red pills too, kind of, but that's not their speciality.
Yeah, kind of whatever they want, TBH.
Whatever they want.
Whatever kind of like controversial things
Jubilee
they see,
videos,
or even
Vice
not
videos.
necessarily controversial, but sometimes they'll just like literally agree with what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they just react to whatever they want. And
they're like a good reaction channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they actually provide like, pretty decent commentary and critique. I don't agree with everything they say, but they're like way more level-headed and, critical than anyone else I've seen do the same type of videos that they do.
And they're really honest. So what happened was this: these guys, Fresh and Fit, are selling expensive courses, telling men how to get your life together, how to be a high value man, how to get woman, how to fix your dating life, how to fix your business life, how to get fit. They're selling men basically being a father. I don't know if you guys realize this. This is why we need dads in society, because all these red pill guru guys are just selling being a father.
Yeah.
They're selling fatherly guidance in every single area, fitness, money, whatever. And on the show, they're talking about prostitution. And they're saying prostitution is gross and they would never be with a woman for money because that's not real attraction. And then Abba and Preach were on the show, and they're like, you're talking, guys, this isn't like Islamic, but I'm not going to address something in the Islamic perspective whenever people are Muslim, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what happened was Abba and Preach are like, wait, you guys are telling men, this is how I'm saying it, are telling men to be a high value in this dunya sense. They're telling men to have six-pack abs, make six figures, and have girls they can call at any time. All the men who are like that in real life, like athletes, politicians, these guys all use prostitution.
Yeah, like, what do they call it? Escort services?
Escorts. I mean, that's a fancy term.
That's a fancy word, yeah.
It's prostitution.
Yeah.
Because that's how you don't get Me Too.
So I think they were talking about this in the context of why prostitution should not be legalized, if I understand correctly. which is even weirder because
Fresh
like,
and Fit.
Yeah,
They were like, I would never be with a prostitute because I want real attraction. That's where we're getting to it with the DMs.
Yeah,
They're talking about real attraction. Like they're like, I would never do something like that because I want real attraction. But then this guy on the show who said that, or one of the co-stars, he's on a sugar daddy website. He has like a profile on a sugar daddy website, and he also has like DMs of basically inviting girls on the show, and then astaghfirullah being like, hey, you can only be on the show if you have intercourse with me.
yeah. If you do this thing for me, and
So
then,
he reached out to them first to be like, yo, but also help me out.
and then basically Abba and Preach are just pointing out their hypocrisy and like, bro, you say you want real attraction, but you're doing this. Basically, instead of paying them money, you're paying them with clout. Like,
Acting like that's not the same thing.
and you're acting like it's not the same thing.
You're literally exchanging intimacy for goods and services. That's prostitution.
Literally, like almost the definition. You're just not paying with money. But yeah. Anyways, it's cringy. Really, I don't have anything more to say about that specific situation as far as pointing out their hypocrisy. I think Abba and Preach did a really good job. I guess you can summarize maybe what.
Yeah,
what their,
I think
what their thoughts
it's
were.
bigger than I thought it would be. I'll summarize what I learned and like everything in this.
Yeah.
Abba and Preach made a really great point, which I loved, which is lead by integrity. It made me think about the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, always remember why you started something, and don't get caught up trying to chase clout and fame and all that. Because Abba and Preach do kind of what Fresh and Fit do, except they call it hypocrisy, and they don't just collab for people for the sake of collabing, and they don't chase the money. And when Abba and Preach said what they said to Fresh and Fit were friends with them initially, and they just said, and then Abba and Preach gave them just honest criticism, and they started roasting them. They called them dusty. They insulted Preach's wife.
Yeah, this is
And
that.
family, like
that
immediately.
was,
We
like,
make more money than you. We're better than you. You ugly. You're dusty. We get more women than you. Weird.
That was the most confusing part about the whole thing is how like absolutely emotional they got about
Because they're
it.
beta, bro.
They got so emotional about it. And the thing that was confusing is because like they were given a critique of some of the ideas that they had put on the podcast. It wasn't even like, I mean, they got business critiques later for like after the beef started, but like it wasn't even like a critique of how they run things, a critique of their operation, which even then, if it's not done maliciously, you should just be like, agree with it or disagree with it, take it or leave it, and then keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to make like a video literally insulting these people. So I was just so confused.
And then delete the videos.
They deleted the video.
They deleted the videos.
I didn't even see that.
You can't find the videos on their channel. They deleted the videos because they got their subscribers dropped.
Mm-hmm.
They got so many dislikes, and it shows one thing: they're clout chasers only.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, Abba and Preach upload the same video, and they got dislikes. They keep it up because they have integrity. Like, I'm gonna make this, and I know why I'm making this, and they only make stuff for clout. And then more stuff come out because it shows like how you handle your business. I mean, think about it. If you're willing to invite a woman onto your show and then say, hey, you can only come on if you give me some attention, you know.
Yeah.
Their photographer, they weren't paying their videographer or photographer or something. A lot of stuff came out, and what it shows is have integrity and don't initiate violence with any man unless you're willing to be violent. Don't play this.
Yeah.
It's not funny, bro.
Because they kept talking about like wanting to box and stuff like that, right?
No, so they're like they're insulted one of Preach's, I think his name is Preach's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Say your wife is probably unattractive. I'll be nice. And then Preach. First of all, Preach can be scary, bro. Can be intimidating. He just has his death stare, 30-yard death stare in the camera lens, looking at the dude. Close off body language at the camera saying, let's box.
SubhanAllah.
You want to disrespect a man's country and wife? We can box. And he's 40.
He's 40?
Yeah, he looks good for 42. He's pretty jacked. And he was like,
Black
I don't
crack alert.
he was like, I don't care if I lose. That's what you know is scary. I'm gonna hurt them. I'm gonna call he was called the twin sisters. Fresh and Prince, more like twin sisters. Let's box. So that's a lot about that. But essentially, like, when it comes to, like, life, like, what you're learning from it, don't go about things emotionally. go about things always with an underlying base of integrity, because even no matter what the outcome is, you did the right thing.
Yeah.
And don't initiate beef with people unless you're really ready for violence, because this don't sound a joke, bro.
Absolutely. And I think that was like the biggest takeaway that they had, and they talked about it a lot, is just move with integrity. Move with integrity. Move with integrity. Move with integrity. Don't tell your subscribers one thing. Don't sell. Like you're selling a product, you're selling a service to people, and they're expecting results from you, and you're telling them one thing, and then you're doing another thing, which is actually the way that most high value, quote unquote, dunya high value people do it. So like, what are you actually trying to, like, I guess communicate to your audience? You know, just move with integrity. Do what you say what you do.
Yeah.
Have them linked up, have them aligned. I think that's probably the most important thing to take away from the beef. The second thing that I thought was interesting, and this is far less important, but the whole situation, I liked one specific part of the situation, and it was when Abba was talking about how he confronted them about Fresh and Fit calling Abba and Preach blue pilled. Remember? And so Abba, he goes onto their show, and he's like, hey,
this is before the initial beef.
Yeah, exactly. You called us blue pilled. And anyway, for anyone not listening, you know, in the Matrix, they had the red pill that you're like see reality, and then you have the blue pill where you're like complacent and just do what you want. So that's what these red pillars call, I guess, beta male simps. They call them. If you don't have 12 girlfriends, you're beta. Exactly. So they call them blue pilled. Yeah. I guess people who exhibit beta simp behavior, whatever that means. Yeah. So he said, you called us blue pilled. Why? Like, tell me right now to my face, and then we can go back and forth and they can respond. So one thing I found interesting was it just further showed how actually beta Fresh was, because that man was stuttering.
I don't know. Did I call you blue pill?
He's like, did I? Yeah. I don't remember.
Nah. Did I? Bro, I don't remember that, bro.
This man's up there stuttering and conveniently forgetting about what he had said. So that's the thing that's not really important. It was just funny. Secondly, though, is I liked it because it kind of showed how a lot of people have this idea that in order for you to be confrontational, or in order for you to stick up for yourself, you have to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive. You have to be intimidating.
Christian should always be the last resort.
You have to be scary.
Yeah.
And Abba beautifully demonstrated how you can be confrontational, not violent, and not aggressive. Because he literally was just like, so you said we were blue pilled. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
He just asked a question.
Talk to me.
Ask the question.
Face to face.
Absolutely.
Directly. You said this. I want to know why you said it about me.
And if you practice, like a lot of people, like when they go to, like as kids, they go to karate and stuff. A lot of times they preach this, don't, like, use violence as the last resort. Use violence as the last resort. Use violence as the last resort. And we kind of think it's funny, because obviously in movies we see the exact opposite, and we want to be cool because we can beat someone up.
Yeah, you want to be the guy on top who your knuckles are bloody, you beat up the other guy.
But in reality, these people, like people who actually train these martial arts for years, they know that violence is not something to play with, and this is going to be the last thing I resort to in every single situation, because you never know how skilled another person might be.
You never, and not even like, even you don't even know what their skill level is. You never know the outcome. Like it's exactly. I hate to be a nerd, but I'm a nerd. Remember in Injustice, where he threw the batarang? Like you can just get pushed.
Wait, hold on. Explain that. So
explain it.
In Injustice,
yeah,
Damian Wayne, who's Batman's son. I guess spoilers, but like it's been out for how many? Anyways, he throws a batarang at Nightwing.
Yeah.
And like the narration in that scene is pretty interesting, because he's like, I just threw the batarang like out of instinct, and this was something that
out of rage,
Nightwing had he dodged this like thousands of times in our training. But this one time it hits him in the head, he falls back and he slams his head on a rock and literally dies.
And this is Nightwing. So these dudes like train Muay Thai, wrestling. Some of the real people, like they're killers though. This is like Batman's protege, and his son threw the battering at him just out of rage. Like he's always missed it. He forgot one time, hit his head on a rock, you die. And this is like real life stuff. You can't go around threatening other grown men. And people like judge people by their physical fitness. you have no idea this fat guy might be a whole killer.
Absolutely.
You have no idea.
No idea.
You're looking at his body fat percentage. I want you to look at his forearms.
Mm-hmm.
You see the forearms or some cauliflower ears, brother. We good.
Have you seen that dude Orlando Sanchez? He's like an ADCC jiu-jitsu medalist.
Mm-mm.
He's fat, bro. He's like the size of like
a condo.
Action Bronson. Do you remember Action Bronson when he was fat? Like before he lost.
He's
all
that
this weight?
big.
Like he's big,
and he
bro.
does jujitsu.
Yes, and
that's terrifying.
He's a dog.
That's
bro.
terrifying. That's like a sumo wrestler doing jujitsu. That's terrifying.
A dog, bro.
They're pinning you down. I'm not getting out that.
Absolutely not. That's just an example. But anyways,
Yeah.
my point is, I remember on a Joe Rogan podcast, Firas Zahabi, he was talking about the reality of violence.
People do not know the reality of violence.
People don't know the reality of violence.
Yeah.
And that one of the things that, going to these martial arts classes do, if you're like serious and dedicated to it, is they teach you that reality. And they teach you exactly what Matthew said, how anything can happen. And you never know how skilled another person is. So don't even resort to that. Don't have that be your first reaction.
And don't and it relates because it's like what you say. Like stop. Like guys be out here just talking about violence. I remember one time we're like in a group of guys, and one guy was like kind of he had like underlining like beef. He felt like he's been disrespected by another friend in the group. And the other guy didn't know he felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something.
Never know.
He called him like chubby or something. I don't know what it was. And then he just got up and was like, "Hey, bro, you want to fight, bro?" And he was like 100% serious.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting all up in his face. And I'm like, bro, why are you talking about fighting if you don't want to fight? Like, this is a last resort thing.
Yeah.
You might just get punched in the face and fall down on the table wrong on your neck and be paralyzed.
Yeah.
You're nobody, bro. Like, you're not a killer. I'm not a killer, so I'm telling you. Just be careful.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't know, like, and I get it. Like the male ego it's hard to back down from a challenge.
It's very hard.
But
you feel like it's like Mike Tyson. I feel like
I
can't say the word, but
yeah,
I feel like a female dog.
Maybe we'll add that clip in it. I don't know. Who knows?
I can maybe clip it.
But anyways,
Jamie, get that.
It's always. I mean, like non-violence, de-escalation is pretty much always the best solution. Just talking from a personal experience, and usually people who immediately resort to violence, they're either like super fragile, like super weak-minded, or have been taught something that's obviously just completely incorrect. From a personal experience, I was at a basketball court. It's always on basketball courts,
Good Lord. Nowhere has more testosterone than a basketball court. Jesus.
Like I was saying. So we're on a basketball court, and I'm playing, and there's a whole bunch of people, and they're just like throwing around the N-word. And I'm just like, and generally,
and they're not black guys.
No.
Yeah.
And generally, I don't have an issue. I'm just like, whatever. But I was like, I guess one thing that bothers me about that is just not being aware of who might not be okay with it, especially if you're not from that culture or from that race. Because generally, I tend not to care. But they were just throwing it around, and so I was like, "Hey, yo, can y'all chill with the N-word?" That's literally all I said.
And you're the only black guy there.
The only black dude there. I was like, "Can y'all chill with the N-word?" And then this dude starts walking. I haven't spoken a word to this dude. He walks up into my face, like up to me, chest to chest, and he's like taller than me, so he's looking down. He's like, "Yo, you're not gonna tell me what I can or can't say." And I was so confused. I literally looked up at him, and I was like, I asked you a question. And then he goes, I'm just saying you're not gonna tell me what I can and can't say.
I'm a grown man.
He was like, you don't know where I grew up, dog. And I was like, bro, I don't care. I asked you a question.
I know you're not from Harlem. Shut up, bro.
I was like, I asked you a question.
This is Virginia.
I don't know why you're getting aggressive right now as I ask you a question. And then he starts walking away, and I'm like, bro, and this is me not listening to that.
This is your ego.
I just gave myself exactly because I'm like, yo, where you going, bro?
Hey, you want to start something? Finish it.
And I'm getting like held back. Like my friends are like putting their arms between me. And I'm like, where you going, bro? Why are you walking away?
Now you're doing your job. Like, hey.
Like, why are you walking away, bro?
I'll put you in a guillotine right now, bro.
I was like, I don't even know your name, and you're coming up to me with this energy, bro. Relax. I was super triggered. But anyways, don't do what I did.
I know you're like, you know what's funny? Like, even as a man, me hearing about my friend possibly being in a fight, I'm like, I visualize myself there, like, Hey, yo, bro, same, bro. If you walked up to you, I would have walked up behind him. You would have seen me coming. I would clock the back of his head, bro. Grab his neck.
It's just, and so like again, like kind of what Matthew was saying. What the I don't know exactly what the guy was thinking. Maybe he expected me to be like intimidated. Maybe him seeing that I wasn't that intimidated made him walk away, or maybe it's just that he's initiated something, saw how close we were, saw the reality of what could happen, and then decided to walk away. In which case, I give him a little bit of props, a little bit, but even before you reach that point, you want to just not engage in that way, especially when it's something as simple as a general question, because it wasn't even addressed directly to him. And then you don't do what I do, which is like chase after him and call him back.
That's what I say.
And then you don't do what I did.
Held back.
Exactly.
It's so I think it really comes from like as men are fragile. Like we don't talk about this, but like men are fragile. Like we're humans. We always talk about like in society like women being fragile, but men are just as fragile in different ways. We want to feel like men, and a lot of that is about power. It's about feeling like we're in control. It's about not feeling fear. Like I know sometimes like it can just feel emasculating to feel fear, and you get angry at yourself as a guy. Like why'd I feel fear? I should be making someone else feel fear, and like that fear can sit with you. And like if you have like trauma of being scared, that's some real stuff I'm getting into. If you have trauma from being scared, you then have like this trauma response where you're like, I'm not going to feel that way again. I need to be in control, which is why I'm going to take up Muay Thai classes, because I think what it is this. Your brain, it's like there's like these two paths. You understand that no matter what you say, there's a difference between how you behave with someone. Like if someone walks up to you, for example, you can be respectful even when they don't deserve respect, and just passive and timid for the sake of not having violence. And then you can also be a killer. But how you feel is part of your reality. So because you feel weaker by being passive, you feel like, and your body thinks, oh, I can't mess him up. And you feeling like you can't mess someone up makes you actually scared.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I am weak. I can't be weak. And the solution is martial arts. Because if you train, if you actually train a good martial art, like some boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, if you train something legit for a long time, you have better chance than some guy who hasn't trained anything. So no matter how scared you feel, or no matter how like, oh, sorry, man, passive tone, no matter what you say, at some point, I can, if you're a wrestler,
I can handle myself.
Yeah, I can do something.
Yeah.
And I think that's the solution. Like humble yourself, take up martial arts, and
it goes back to that like that saying, what is it? A nice guy who has no choice to be nice doesn't get props for being nice.
You have to be a man before being a gentleman.
Type B.
That's
or
what
like,
it is.
Type B.
You have to be a man before being a gentleman. No one says, "Hey, you're so gentle." Cool.
Exactly.
Like a rabbit has no alternative but to be gentle.
Like babies. Babies are like it's in their nature, obviously.
Yeah.
But what part of the reason why they look so cute is because they literally have no other defense mechanism.
Yeah. A baby's only defense mechanism is being adorable. Like you look at a baby and then you have like this influx of hormones in your body that says, I need to take care of this child and love it. If a baby wasn't cute, we kill babies. We kill babies. They are loud. They take away your sleep, your money, your food, your resources. They don't do anything for at least 12 years. They are leeches. from a purely like input output perspective. But they're cute. We love them.
Yeah. So yeah, that got
that was good. You got a little deep there. I'm enjoying myself.
I know.
Yeah.
I like talking about that. SubhanAllah.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, sign up for some martial arts.
You're gonna do Muay Thai with me?
Where, bro?
But you give me we'll talk about the location specifically afterwards. But the place you told me to.
Yeah.
That pays it's like what, $140 a month?
Something like that.
I might just do they have like an actual gym there?
No.
I'd be willing to cancel my gym membership if I just do Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. But anyways, this is not talk for the podcast.
Guys, watch me be a dog. Sorry. So what's next on your list, man?
Anyways,
We talk about Abba and Preach. There's also some YouTube drama, right? Or red pill stuff. You want to talk about Hamza?
Oh, I mean, you could talk about Hamza. We could also talk about. I mean, you could talk about the fight coming up tonight. Tonight, in fact, actually, as we record this.
Oh, where are we gonna watch it?
Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
Jake Paul for the win.
Matthew has been texting me with pseudoscience and
Joe Rogan science,
body analytics, body language analysis about Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul.
No. Okay. Let me summarize. It's not that I think Jake Paul is in Tyron Woodley's head. I think the fight. Okay. If I'm a fighter, right? If I'm doing this for like 10, 20 years, I'm a real fighter. I'm not getting paid for a long time, blood, sweat, and tears. I'm like a real fighter. Like, you know, I have respect to my community, etc. And then I have to fight this YouTube dude who's been training for 3 years max, who's privileged, who has all the resources. Like, I don't think the fighting community like respects these guys, you know? Like, they're literally YouTubers. They literally started doing this full time last couple years. That's it. The pressure of losing against someone like this is so large. Yes, the payday's there, but if you have any ego as a man, like, I want to be the best at what I do, like, of losing to this dude, that's pressure.
Bro, I don't think so, bro.
You don't think that, bro, if you get knocked out by Jake Paul, do you understand after every single time you're going to go to the UFC for a smack talk against someone else, they're going to be like, yeah, you got knocked out by a YouTuber,
do you
bro.
know
Shut
what
up.
the likelihood of this guy getting knocked out is?
I don't know. Small.
It's very small,
It's very
bro.
small.
He's been in the ring with absolute killers, bro. Like,
Bro, Jake a killer. Not this killer.
killer.
not this killer. Not this YouTube killer, bro.
And Jake is not a scrub. He has a decent jab.
He's like a good novice, right? Like not good novice, but he's a novice.
He's not as scrubby as like people try to make him. Logan, he's a scrub. Jake is actually not.
Logan is the one without tattoos.
Yeah, that's the one that fought Mayweather.
Yeah.
He's an absolute scrub. Jake actually,
What? One good thing is I don't think Tyron's underestimating Jake. So I was watching. Actually, like, Jake's body language is way more telling. I don't think Tyron's nervous. Like, it's literally like, bro, I've been more nervous in terms of like my life. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's different. But I'm saying, like, okay, one interesting thing was who's the host, the guy who left UFC? He was
Ariel Helwani.
Yeah, Helwani.
Yeah,
Helwani. I'm trying to say his name right. Sorry, man. Ariel. Oh yeah, I'll say Ariel. Ariel was asking Tyron, was like, anything you see about Jake that's impressive? It makes you think. He's like, yeah, it's good. He's got a good right hand.
Yeah,
and Jake couldn't hold back the joy in his face when he said that. He smiled. He couldn't help it because he wants recognition. I think he really wants to be a boxer. Mm-hmm. Like, he's genuinely like, I want to do this forever now. Like, he was like, he smiled like, yes. The kid is so hungry, bro.
But here's the thing: we've also never seen Jake get hit. We've never seen him like.
That's true.
Be like stumbled and have to like
he's
regain
on PEDs
himself.
Though, bro.
Probably, bro. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's on PEDs, bro.
So is Tyron, probably. Bro, Tyron looked good. That man's like 38, 39.
Yeah, he's like a brick wall.
He looked good, bro.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm excited. I mean, like, I'm happy no matter what.
I mean, I think Jake legitimately has a chance. Like, the longer this fight goes, the more it favors Jake. Especially like Tyron Woodley in his last couple of fights, he was very like, he didn't do a lot basically, and like I know
last 4 fight. He has like a 4-fight losing streak, right?
Something like that. And so I know like a lot of older fighters, as they get older, what they do is they become like hesitant to throw punches.
Why?
And so that's what was happening to Tyron as like later in his I guess title reign, and then after he lost the title, he would just be hesitant to throw punches.
Why?
Why does it happen? I don't know.
Hesitant to throw a punch. That's so interesting.
It's not just him. It happens to like a lot of people. You're just hesitant to throw.
Become more empathetic. Like, oh, you get mature with age. Oh, this someone.
I think they're just like scared for themselves. TBH.
Yeah, you start feeling your back and everything start hurting. Finally, that abusive sport. Good lord. Yeah, man. I'm excited to see what. I'm actually not Jake Paul. Like, let's go. But I'm just thinking like, I'm very impressed with something that was initially a whole meme as being legit.
Yeah, bro. Did you see that? The sit down with Ariel was so funny, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It was so funny.
Jake's funny.
Bro, Tyron was hitting him with some zingers, bro. He was like, he literally had Jake speechless. Jake's mouth was like,
it was open for like a whole 30 seconds. I read that part. Hey, what?
Exactly.
You can't talk. Look at you.
And then he was like, Jake was like, ask Amanda Serrano, ask this fighter, ask Jorge Masvidal, and Tyron straight face. He's like, ask these nuts.
That show was funny. that show had me geeky. I actually laughed out loud when I heard that. Oh my god. Yeah, ask these nuts. He don't care. He literally said, bro, I'm just here not to get fined. He said that. I'm here not to get fined, bro.
No, but I probably won't watch it, but the lead-up has definitely been entertaining. Super entertaining.
The guys know how to promote a fight.
Yeah.
I always think to myself, like, I have a fantasy of someday, like, man, if I, like, quit my job and had, like, money like these guys and just, like, did, like, martial arts for, like, a year, somewhere like Thailand or whatever, how much progress could you make? Because that's really what they did. They took all their money, they, like, hire the best coaches they can afford and everything, and just dedicate their life to it. I'm excited to see where the experiment goes.
And they still, at least not Jake. I'm talking about, like, UFC fighters. They still don't make that much money. But anyways.
Yeah.
Mahdi wants to, so put in the comments, I guess, if anyone's listened this far, who would want to see me and Mahdi in a charity boxing match?
Oh.
Mahdi's saying we meet at 180.
I'll drop 50 pounds.
And I'm trying to get him to come down to like 170, 160 till you beat
I will be, listen. So I went to the gym, right, like a couple months ago because I've been on my weight loss journey. Don't say nothing, Hossein.
You're the one who's been fat shaming me.
Because you've been getting fat.
Shut up, bro. Anyways.
I did like one of those body fat percentage test things done. I know like there's room for error, but
a lot.
According, like 10 to 20% room. It still is like, it's an estimate.
Yeah.
According to the test, if I had no fat on me, like no fat, so just my bones, my organs, and my muscle, I would have 100. I would weigh 160 pounds, lean, like 1% body fat.
But bro, you'd also lose like muscle mass too if you got the 1%
bro. You
body
want me
fat.
to meet you at 170? I'll be like 12% body fat. You know how hungry I'll be at 12% body fat. I've been like at 50 my whole life, bro. I can't beat you. I'll beat you at 180.
Anyways,
I'll weigh in at one. We'll do the weigh-ins 180, and I'll come on stage 210.
I might.
That would be awesome. Woo!
I might just give him weight on the scale, TBH. I don't know. I feel like I'm that much of a dog, so I can just give him some weight on the scale, and he still be feeling that them left hooks of mine. So
let me tell you something. You know, I look in Hussein's face, and I say a weak man. I say a fearful man for his life.
It's a little too thick. Like
it's no such thing as too thick. You know. You know this. I search Khabib. You know this. Brother. Wallahi, I just want the pound, brother. You know this. I'm from Mountain. I am Bear. You know, I want to smash.
I maul people.
I make him tired. Hussein, I take you to deep water and show you who you are.
Oh, you want to do MMA, bro?
Bro, I meet you at any field. Send me location.
Now, boxing easier.
Yeah, it's like MMA is just too much to learn.
Too much to learn, and then it's like super hard on your body.
I think you're underestimating my cardiovascular abilities. But I think that's actually where I'm going to get you.
Bro.
I'm a dog, bro.
Know me, bro.
No, bro,
brother. I'm done talking about this.
Brother, I'm telling you this. I end with this, brother. I take you to D. Watson, brother. I show you who you are.
Anyways, y'all comment if you want to see it, and then who would actually win. Yeah, and if I'm the underdog, you know, whoever, I know you guys, I know.
Bro, people are going to vote for you, bro.
I know we're not supposed to bet, but like anyone who's watching this who's not Muslim, if I'm the underdog, bet the house, bro. Bet the house.
You're encouraging people to bet. Astaghfirullah, yo. Get your meds.
Subhanallah.
If I were betting, man, I'd bet it all myself.
Really?
So, red pill, manosphere.
I mean, I don't want to talk about any more about that necessarily.
You don't want to talk about that?
Unless you had something specific in mind. I was just thinking of Mahdi sent this video to our group chat. And the video was from this dude named Hamza.
Hamza.
This dude
It's such a good name, man.
It is. It's not Hamza, by the way. It's just Hamza.
Hamza.
But anyways, in this video, he's talking about like investing in like these investment gurus and how the people who tell you not to buy coffee is like, don't buy coffee, don't
save $5 a day.
Exactly.
Compound it.
If you save $5 a day and you put those $5 for that you use for buying coffee, you put it into like the stock market, then in 7 years you get like X amount of return on it.
Yeah.
And basically his point was like, which I agreed with. I mean, he's kind of a Rebbe, but we'll get into that later.
I'm dead.
That he agreed with.
I'm dead.
That I agreed with. I'm sorry. Was that basically you should be investing in yourself, and even things that some of these gurus would see as like bad investments necessarily aren't. He's like investing in yourself basically can never be bad. That's not always true, but just generally. Take that rule generally. And so he's like, invest in things like therapy, build your mental health. Because a lot of you people, I was about to say N-words, a lot of you people.
Hey, yo, Jamie, can you clip that?
A lot of you people need some help and they really have like anxiety, depression. You guys can't handle rejection. You guys can't handle loss. You guys have no idea how to do this. And I guess this is why the YouTube red pill manosphere exists, is because like Mahdi said, this is what I wanted to say when you said this point. Men are fragile. Mahdi said men are fragile. And a lot of the times they don't have places to go to address this fragility, especially if they don't have like functional men in their lives.
Especially, man. And a lot of guys don't.
And a lot of guys don't have functional. Even the people with fathers don't necessarily have functional fathers.
Yeah, well, a lot of y'all don't have fathers, and the dads you do have don't know how to be dads anyways.
Yeah, and so I guess that's the reason why like the whole red pill manosphere thing exists, because it gave a place to kind of address those needs, address those worries, address those feelings of rejection. Now, I think maybe it went too far in one direction and kind of went misogynistic, especially like the further ends of it.
Yeah.
But that's gonna happen with anything.
That's what happens when the sick are helping the sick.
Type beat.
I mean, you have a bunch of dudes who are resentful about women, and then they want to. I mean, I genuinely believe they want to help other men, but they don't even know all the answers themselves. So they give some good advice, like, yeah, make money, be confident. Also, never trust women. Whoa, what do you mean never trust women? Sounds like you have trauma. You need therapy, my guy.
Absolutely.
Do you have a good relationship with your mom? Probably not. Got mommy issues.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of these red pill guys have serious mommy issues. Like, serious, bro. Like, you cannot talk about women this way and not have mommy issues. Y'all sound like, who's that one guy Zac Efron played as? Ted Bundy, bro. Like, y'all don't know your mothers. Sorry. Sorry.
I think, kind of like, I was thinking about this the other day. So, what do you think of, like, the barbershop environment?
I love it.
That's probably like the good what is it, manifestation of like a manosphere, or like,
yeah, it's very like, I love the barbershop because
I'm gonna be real, bro, specifically black barbershops.
No, of course. No Asian barbershop, no Filipino barbershop. I'm talking about a black owned barbershop with some dude in the front with some clean fades going on, talking about basketball. I don't know what they're talking about, but I'm enjoying the vibes.
Bro, it's not just basketball, bro. It's everything. Sometimes they just be talking about life. There. I love barbershop culture.
Dude, the thing about barbershops, and this actually relates to, we were talking about like self-love and stuff, because I'm realizing stuff about myself recently, is whenever I go to the barbershop, I love it. And it's not just because I come out with a nice haircut. I've been to other barbershops. It's not the same. The thing about going to a black barbershop, the barbershop culture, like the barbershop culture that we're talking about, it's only for black owned barbershops. It's because it really feels like a place where you're getting taken care of. You feel like you're around a bunch of guys you can trust who are chatting up with you. And it's kind of like, I don't want to say homoerotic, but it's like men don't have, like, we're so, we've lost so much of, we're not in touch with ourselves, that we don't have that many places where men take care of one another. like men aren't taking care of one another, and
SubhanAllah.
we do need that. And
I didn't even think of that. SubhanAllah.
that's what it is. It's like it's not like I'm like no pause. Like it's just very loving.
Mm-hmm.
It's loving. Like literally, you have another brother who is making you look good. He's taking care of you. Like I'm talking to this barber. I'm like, I remember I was getting a haircut for my wedding, and the guy was like, I was telling him, he's like, yeah, man, I'm getting married. He's like, oh man, congratulations. I'm gonna make you look good. I'll make you look good, man. You gonna look like a different dude. And I was like, oh man, I appreciate that. And I was like so happy. And he was like, cleaning me up. And the bar, like when I say like homoerotic type, it's like, the guy's like grabbing your face, touching your face. What other scenario in life can you get that kind of love from like a man that's like not inappropriate?
Yeah.
That's weird. But it's like that self-love. It's really like brotherly love. And it's awesome. Someone's gonna be commenting, pause, gay. But no, like that's the facts about it. And like again, how many male atmospheres are there kind of like that? Maybe the kind of the gym, like you're working out with another guy.
Yeah.
And you could be like, hey man, like you got some nice lats.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say, guys that go to the gym and think they're gonna get all the ladies, but really they just get attention from dudes. Yeah, who also go to the gym.
I kind of try to give that love to other men because, men need love and attention too. Like, you know how many guys just don't get told, hey bro, you're awesome?
No, I feel what you're saying. One time I was, my wife was laughing at me because I walked into the store and this dude had enormous calves. His calves were enormous. And I literally look at him, I'm like, bro, your calves look good, bro.
Yeah. Did you give like a little wink or okay?
It was funny though because he was actually gay. The guy
Oh,
I was like, bro, your calves look good.
Oh, watch
and
out.
I don't know if he was like, I was like, I don't know. In my head, I was like, I know you're gay, but like, I don't care. I still have to tell you this.
Yeah, man. What's the issue with it?
I was like, bro, your calves you have some nice calves. He seemed kind of weirded out because I think he knew I was there with my wife. So I don't know. Maybe he thought I was hitting on him. I have no idea. But
I mean, I just be like,
still, I was just like, bro.
I gotta find like the right way with like the body. You gotta find like the right way to be like, you can't like be too objectifying. But at the gym, for example, like I was deadlifting yesterday. I deadlifted 315, for one clean, easy. I feel like I hit it for two, bro. Low key, anyways.
It looked easy, yeah.
Yeah. But I lifted it easy because I walked in and the deadlifting stand next to me, there's these two dudes lifting. I don't know why there's so many strong Asian guys. I don't know why. I think Asians have like a strength to be super strong.
A strength to be super strong.
Sorry, like a genetic what's the word looking for? Saying
advantage. I don't know.
Yeah, genetic like proclivity to strength.
Like, not proclivity. Predisposition.
Predisposition, because I see like in the Olympics too, killing it.
Yeah, they kill us in the Olympics. And weightlifting, bro, they so low to the ground, bro.
Dude, it's like black people are the fastest, Asians are the strongest. I don't know what it is, bro. Just look at the Olympics. People are gonna call me racist. Okay, bro, whatever. Anyways, I'm at the gym and these guys are like really small.
No, but it does help if you're shorter though. Like all that stuff like factors in.
This guy is like smaller than you, and I see him lifting 315. Good form. And I was obviously watching. I wasn't like fake. I was like just standing there looking at him. and then he pulled it and I gave him fist bump. I was like, hey man, good job. How much is that? He's like 315. I was like, bro, how much you weigh if you don't mind me asking? And he's like 150 pounds. And I'm like, bro, that is the most impressive thing. You know that, right? Like you were deadlifting twice your body weight more. And then I was like, hey, how's like that deadlift form feel for you? And he showed it. And then I was deadlifting. I tried it on the same weight. And then him and his friends stopped and watching me. And I was pulling it up. They're like, let's go. They cheer me on. Was
that sumo? Did you do sumo? Or?
No. Sumo's like when you do the reverse grip, right?
No, sumo has to do with your feet, not your...
It's like when the feet are like right next to the bar and your toes are out.
But like, were you wide or were you like shoulder width?
I was very wide.
Yeah, sumo.
So I was doing sumo, I guess. And I did like what he showed me and they're like cheering me on. It was like a 5-minute interaction. But it was like, that's what I'm saying, like that love. Yeah. Guys aren't used to getting it, and it should just be normalized.
Yeah,
people are lonely, man.
Just quick nerd tip. For a long time, there was like, I don't know, for a long time, and then there still might be discussion about whether sumo is like cheating or not because you're shortening the.
It feels like cheating.
You're shortening the movement of the bar. You know, as you're conventional, your feet are closer together, and so you're pulling the bar up further. But when your feet are spread further apart, it's a shorter I guess path of travel that the bar has to go. So it's like, is sumo cheating or whatever?
It feels like cheating. The guy told me, he was like, it feels like cheating.
Mm.
And I was like, that sounds good.
Now, I prefer conventional. It's just more comfortable. I don't like it doesn't feel good for me to be in sumo. But anyways,
I feel like less load on the back. Like I felt like a better form because I felt like my back was safer. But like I was like, my back is sore today, like the good kind of sore. This was yesterday when I lifted. So it felt like less danger pressure on my back, but it still felt like I felt tighter, if that makes sense. Like my form.
Yeah. Anyways, to your point, yeah. That's something that men don't experience. And I completely forgot my larger point, but you talk for so long, bro. So I'm
sorry, bro. You gotta interrupt me, bro. That's what I be doing.
I just be getting lost, no cap.
You gotta interrupt me, bro.
Okay, that's my fault.
It is your fault.
But anyways, we completely went away from the subject of Hamza and his video, but I think this was cooler.
Yeah,
and it was something that I wanted to mention when you had talked about being fragile. But anyways, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? How's that relate to being fragile?
I was talking about the reason why the menosphere red pill area of YouTube exists to begin with. And because you said men are fragile, and then I was like bouncing off of that. They don't have a lot of men don't have a lot of places where they feel like they can go to address that kind of fragility. And so kind of the manosphere red pill answered some of those worries, some of those anxieties.
Yeah.
And then also went like parts of it went way left.
Yeah.
As well.
So like, do you think the answer is just real life brotherhood?
Yeah. I mean, literally.
Brotherhood, fatherhood type beat. Have an involved, like a lot of dads, even here, like it's less here than like in the Middle East, for example. And yes, I'm generalizing, but this is generally how it, like in my experience of what I've seen, how it tends to be. Is it dad works, dad brings money, dad, takes care of everyone's food, clothing, shelter, and then the raising of the children is left to mom. Only. And even American fathers, a lot of times even when they are there, they're not like present. They're like super detached. It's like, I'm still at work. I'm at home, but I'm at work. And it's still a lot of kids don't get that love or receive that attention that they need from their fathers. All these red pill dudes that are wildin'. No, sorry. Not red pill. I mean, some of them, but a lot of the dudes that are like constantly depressed, always constantly dealing with issues, is because they needed fatherly guidance and they didn't have fatherly guidance, and so they got it from somewhere else. And a lot of times, those other places weren't good. Every now and then, you had someone who had like access to mentors that were really good and kind of like could fill in that gap. Yeah.
And those are the guys that become, I guess, successful, not just in a dunya sense, but like literally in their disposition and stuff like that. And then you have the people that don't find that, and they become the incels.
Yeah, like I think the incel is that guy who doesn't, like, we're meant to, like, men and women both have to take care of men and women. Like, it's like we're filtering out the weak ones. Like, what I mean by that, it's like, if you see a guy who's not doing anything with his life and time, this is like being an incel, like screwing around, he needs to get yelled at, like by his dad, by his male friends, like have a sit down, like handled, not by his mom, my sister. Like he needs like men to give him that guidance, I think. And that's what we're seeing like in the YouTube space, like this substitute that's so weak. And these guys really don't care, many of them. They maybe care a little bit, but they're trying to make a paycheck. There's some of these courses that are made with very little effort, made with free information you can find online. And it doesn't even hit because you need to have a connection with somebody. Like you don't respect this stranger on the internet. And if you do, why? Like, why do you respect this guy who doesn't know you? Like I can give it, we all know the best advice in the world. It's all free.
Yeah.
I can give you the best advice ever on the podcast. Joe Rogan can keep telling you things. Joe Rogan gives great advice all the time, for example. But do you know Joe Rogan? Is he in your life to hold you accountable? Does he know your specific situation? Like, it's not a substitute for fatherhood and brotherhood and all this stuff. And these guys are just making money from their subscribers at the end of the day. Like, so much money. You are a product. And these Red Pill YouTubers still like all of them, even the good ones. Like the Roommates podcast, Steph is Cold. They give okay advice sometimes. A lot of what they say doesn't make sense as well. But then also they make a lot of money from their subscribers. But these people all look to them as substitutes for brothers and fathers. And I'm like, how is Steph your dad? How is the Roommates podcast? These guys are young. These guys are 20. These guys are our age.
Yeah, they're a little bit older. Steph is like 24.
Steph is like 23, I think, bro.
Yeah,
or 24.
bro.
Like, yeah, like he's like, these guys are our age.
Literally,
I can't look at this guy my age like my dad, bro. You shouldn't.
Well, there are people older than him that are looking at him like that.
It's
like
weird.
Mid-30s.
That's a problem.
Absolutely.
And I think it's also.
But I also feel like, just like on a more cultural note, fathers are given like, they're cut a lot of slack. Like they have a low bar as far as like what we expect from them, or the quality of like parenting that we expect from them.
Yeah, the bar's not high, bro.
It's really low.
I'm about to raise the bar though.
Inshallah. Not anytime soon.
I'm about to make, bro, like, inshallah, bro. Bro, like, you know, these other wives out here about to be looking at their husbands like, yo, what's your problem, bro? I'm about to make these other guys insecure.
No, but it's like, okay, this dad didn't do this. You know, just dad things. This dad didn't do this.
He just gave me some trauma. You know,
that's just what dads do. And I think there are legitimate differences that need to be like acknowledged between like the parenting of a mother and father. I think those things exist. Like guys, for like easy example, when my mom takes my little sister out, she's like packed with clothes, pack extra change of clothes, you know, wipes, got some snacks in case she gets hungry. Maybe even got some like lunch for her, you know. And then when her dad takes her out, it's like, okay, you got maybe change of clothes, wipes. You got no food though, or something like you got no food. So they'll like go out and get something, which is fine as long as the child gets fed, right? And these are like, you know, differences. Some things might not be like as initially like important to a man, or they might not think of it as super important for a man versus like a woman, for example. Like maybe the woman's thinking like, oh, she'd prefer a home cooked meal versus a meal that she gets from a restaurant. I don't know. These are just silly, easy example that I'm throwing out there. And there are legitimate differences in parenting like that. But then there are things like that are just straight up neglect that fathers do that get like passed off as like, oh no, that's just like
guy stuff.
Exactly.
Not guy stuff. It's irresponsibility.
Exactly.
You have trauma. You're not able to process your emotions.
It's like,
you need therapy, bro.
Absolutely. And that's kind of wrap this back. That's what I liked about what Hamza was saying. The YouTuber, like, get your mind right, get your body right, get your health right,
before everything,
get your act right, and then get your act right. Get like a sum of money, like get a job or whatever, get a skill, acquire skills, acquire skills, acquire tools that can make you money. Get like a sum of money, and then start thinking about your future investments. None of these financial gurus that started out or doing real estate right now and making millions of dollars or whatever, they all either came from rich families, and so they had that money there already, or they got themselves to a point where they had consistent income coming in, and then they could, like, because of that income, they could basically, you know, look outside of that and do things that brought them more passive income.
Bro, I think therapy is so underrated and so important. Like, you perceive your entire... It doesn't make sense, like, if you really break it down, right? Who are you? You're your body and mind. Your mind is your computer, and your body is like how you move through the world, and you need both. But if your computer, your lens of how you process information is messed up, I don't care what opportunities you're given, you're gonna ruin them. You're not gonna see them because you have issues. We all have. Like, I'm convinced. Everyone needs some therapy. No, yeah. Everyone. You have something you're dealing with. Invest in therapy. Like get some higher abundancy. Like, people hear about how much therapy costs. $25 an hour. I can't do that. Bro, look at the other things in your life you're spending $25 for that are actually a substitute for therapy if you think about it.
And that's, again, another point that Hamza made. He was like, the return on investment that you give from good therapy is going to be way higher because it's helping you as a person. It's gonna be way higher than the return that you get on $5 that you put into the 7% return that you get on $5 that you put into the stock market 7 years later.
Exactly. And lots of these things like we get into that waste our time. Like it's different for different guys, whether it be video games or pornography or like just things that like are distractions. But you're not like, I'm not saying video games can't be a career, but for a lot of guys it isn't. You're just throwing your time into it, and it's like it's an scapegoat for reality. You're just going to that. It's like that's your therapy. Stop that. Like get some therapy, exercise regularly, eat clean food, get your mind and body right, because you're like, the difference is night and day.
Yeah.
And I'm still working on that. Like I don't know how much information I want to share, but I've been improving myself in that area recently because I realized exactly what I just said. Like getting your mind right, getting your body right, spending money on certain areas is essential that you shouldn't be like skimming money on.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be looking for like, I'm going to get the cheapest food. Like if you do that, bro, you're going to be messed up mentally. So
it might be more important for you to cancel your Netflix subscription and buy better food, for example, or buy a gym membership rather than spend that whatever. I don't know how much Netflix subscription costs. But like these kind of things,
it's a way better investment than the Roth IRA you're going to see in 20 years. What's the point in your Roth IRA if you're depressed? If you killed yourself, real talk. If you killed yourself, I made $300,000 no tax in 25 years. I'm also depressed and incel and lonely. What is the money going to get you?
And I don't know if it was that same video, but in a different video, because I kind of like looked through this guy Hamza's channel.
He has a good channel, like good, like it grabs you in his style.
Yeah, he was like, would you rather be the depressed millionaire or the happy broke guy? And it's like 10 times out of 10, you'd rather be the broke happy guy. I mean the broke happy guy. Because your mental health is good.
Yeah, I think like if I had to pick between being jacked, happy, and like having good family and everything, but like kind of poor, I'd rather be that than the depressed millionaire with no family, no kids, no nothing.
Yeah, wrong.
Because you have something to live for. Imagine like if you're like in the mental space, and a lot of guys are, like you're literally scared of talking to a woman. You can't make a connection, and you're lonely. Woo, can never be me.
Inshallah, never. Inshallah.
Nah, could never. Nah. Inshallah. I think
everything is,
Yeah.
By the will of God. So
yeah, inshallah, of course. You never want to be like, nah, inshallah, never. God's like, all God got to do is,
Type beat.
Let's see about that.
Type beat.
But I think that wraps it up.
Yeah.
If you guys want to support the podcast, if you're still listening to this point, please do. You can follow us on Patreon if you want to have your video. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to our patrons right now. Give me some time. Psych, now we'll put them on the screen. Wait, no, it's a podcast. I can't do that. Listen, I'm not getting Wi-Fi here. Can you help me out?
Why are you not getting Wi-Fi, bro? You're gonna have to cut this out, huh?
Yeah, bro. I have to do a lot of editing.
Yeah.
But I like these longer episodes.
It's not really that much longer.
I want to get I think what we're going to do is get substitute uploading less for also more reels of our clips. So shout out to our wonderful patrons for making this episode possible to you. Shout out to Ali. Shout out to T-Jam. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Muhammad. And shout out to Jordan. You guys are the best. If you want to join the awesome Patreon club for Thoughtful Banter, check out thoughtfulbanter.com check out patreon.com/Thoughtful Banter for more episodes, for supporting the channel and behind the scenes content, and to have your name shouted out. Also, look out for the new episode coming out, Thoughtful Banter Vibes Nuños. Tacos.
It's going to be some heat. Thank you, guys. Heat.
Bye. Yeah. Damn. Wow.